it's April. I'm checking in on a wonderful December morning. It's not the sunniest day, but it's just a beautiful day. I bless the rest of your week as we get ready to go into the next calendar year according to our land. I had a few thoughts about relationships. Okay, don't tune me out yet. It occurred to me that people want to be loved, but sometimes things get in the way. Particularly, it's difficult for someone with a spirit of pride to love other people for long periods of time. Why? Because pride says a lot of things, but two of the main things is that I am a priority over everyone else. I'm the most important person. And sometimes it gets to the point where I'm the only person who matters, if pride gets out of hand. And the other thing it says is that I know best for everyone. And that's how you get into trying to manipulate and force the hands of the people all around you to control every situation in your environment. It's really, really upsetting and negative and toxic to the people around the prideful person and for that person. Now, that being said, I'm not really down on people who have a battle with certain spirits. It's more like I see a lot of people in a hole who don't know how to get out of that hole. And they started digging the hole, attempting to get their needs met. The issue with a prideful spirit is that you want your needs met, but you don't care about other people's needs. That will begin a cycle where the people around you, as they begin to realize that it's one-sided and that you only receive, and they only give, and it becomes really slanted and weird and one-sided, and then they're not getting their needs met. Now they're upset or trying to talk to you, but if you're prideful, you don't care how they feel, you only care how you feel. And this is really difficult to mention, but it happens so often in places of worship. Years ago, I was at a place of worship and everything was going fine. God had sent me there. I know it. That's why I stayed for years after I realized it was, not the perfect, not the ideal situation. But what they were doing was taking several offerings during a lot of services, and they kept adding more and more services so they could take more and more offerings. They didn't limit it to one offering when they added more services. And I'm not saying that because I'm down on them. I'm going somewhere with it. But anyway, what I noticed was that we had a great time in the Lord. People were getting saved, healed, delivered from things. People were improving in their everyday lives. We were pretty happy for a little while. And then the jealousy started, the backbiting, the envying, the gossip, that type of thing, as people noticed that not everyone had the same kind of job, not everyone had the same kind of car, not everyone had the same number of children, and people who felt that they had the need to acquire what the next person had, started attacking those who had what they thought they wanted. And as a person who was very quiet, I just sat back and watched all these people act like this. And in my mind, I was going, I wonder if anybody feels that way about me. But, whatever. I just sat back and watched. And as they did these things, it would be maybe 2 months, a month, 3 months. But everything that they would send out would happen to them. And then they would come in like shouting and crying and I just watched this cycle of people acting very ugly and nasty to each other or to other people, and then suffering the consequences from it, and then coming in shouting and screaming and jumping. And I said, look, okay, God, please just help me just to focus on you and tell me what you want me to do. So he told me what he wanted me to do, and I did it. But the problem is, it got the attention of a whole new set of people who realized that I was being successful in what God told me to do, and they were upset about that. And so now I became a target of the people with the backbiting and gossiping and all this stuff. And I said, oh, okay, I see how this works. And my point is, at a certain point, I got in some issues, some trouble, which later on, the people who spoke it on to me got in the exact same trouble, and I did not miss that. I saw it, but I was very quiet and just contemplative, because what I'm doing is trying to grow as a person, not trying to condemn other people. So I take every lesson that I see other people learning and try to apply it to myself beforehand. And sometimes it's a really good result. And sometimes the result is that just my life stays calm and peaceful. And that's a good result in and of itself. But anyway, my point is, when I got into trouble, all those 3 offerings for 4 different services, all the service I had been rendering, all the weeks and months and days and 15 different meetings and all this stuff, it's like they forgot about it. It's like it was completely discarded. Let's say during the year I had given thousands of dollars. When I needed $300, they told me to go ask God. Do you feel the weight of that? So this place that I just spent $8,000 giving and giving and giving cannot even scrape together between 300 members a few $100s to help me pay my bill. And then, to take it further, someone on the leadership team told me that it was from Satan. It was demonic for me to even ask for anything. And then they turned right back around and asked me for some money. Seeing my children with old clothes on. Seeing me asking for help. Instead of helping me, they turned around and bit and devoured me. And what that did to my psyche. Okay, this is not a safe place. I can't tell them my problems. I can't share with them. I can't show my emotions around them. I can't ask for help. All they want is to take from me my time, energy, money, resources, my gifts, my talents. They're sucking everything from me. But I am not safe to ask for anything, and I shouldn't expect anything in return, except the Lord, who is going to be there whether I come to this building or not. And this is not me being down on that church. This is me saying, when you are in relationship with somebody, it is sick if it is one-sided. If I can count on you, but you cannot count on me. If I give to you, but you never give to me. Or if everything I give you is multiplied times 10, but everything you give me is the bare minimum every time. It's really, really sad after a while. And then after a while, when people caught on, one by one, people started exiting, starting with the members who had been giving the most. Okay, and I noticed, but God had not told me I could go yet. So I don't move, no matter what I'm feeling, perceiving, whatever is happening. I don't move until God tells me to move, or gives me permission, releases me. So I waited, and I watched as people one by one left. And then I watched as they lost a lot. They lost the building. They lost money. They lost members. They took a lot of losses. And it wasn't clicking in their head that they should care about the people who come to the building. And I said, my God, please just stay with me. Stay with me, Lord. Because you're the one that I know I could count on. You're the one I know. If I ask for bread, you won't give me a stone. If I ask my Father for bread, he will not give me a stone. If I ask for $200, he will not give me a pat answer and a prayer. Do you see? If your loved ones have come to you saying they have these needs that haven't been met, what will you say to them? Will you tell them that they're ridiculous and that they're saying something that doesn't make sense? Or will you address it and say, how can I make you feel like this need is being met? What will you do? Because how you handle it determines what happens over the next 5 or 10 years with you guys. And I've seen people try to do both. Try to manipulate the situation where they don't have to put anything in, but keep getting things out. That's robbery. That is robbery. If I go to the vending machine and I put nothing in, or if I put $1 in, I get something the first time, but I want everything in the vending machine to come out from that $1. Does that make sense? That's robbery, right? You have to continuously feed into what you want to get things out of. And I think that's all I have to say about that right now. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later.